1, 2, 3, let us begin. Click, click, click. Hello one, and welcome again here to Maxon's Bakery and Restaurant here in Chinatown, Vancouver, and welcome to another edition of Chinatown Confessions. Now, this is the first Chinatown Confessions of 2025, and I must confess, I have a fever for black paint Leica cameras. Now, this is not black paint. I would love Leica to make a brass version of an SL. I know it seems kind of, because this is very a utility, brutalist design, but the original SL, did it use brass on the top plate? I think it did. It'd be nice to have, especially for someone like Pat Domingo. I'm sure Pat would appreciate a black paint SL because he just destroys his cameras. I mean, he really uses them, and so I'm sure he would love to have a black paint SL. But I had an opportunity. You guys have seen maybe my latest video of my unboxing first look. Let me just see here. If you could only see what's in front of me. In fact, maybe I'll either insert a little B-roll or a picture of what's in front of me. Not everything in front of me here is black paint, but a lot of it is. I use the, where is it now? Here we go. Here I have the M9P black paint, and I've been told by many people the black one is always black paint. Taki, what are you talking about? Well, the box says black paint on it, so of course I'm gonna say what I read, but this is black paint, but it's kind of a matte black paint, and maybe we'll see if this DJI Osmo Pocket can show the difference between the different types of black paint. I don't think it can, because it's so subtle, but since I have this black paint, I decided to ask JJ to have lunch with me, and we enjoyed a nice lunch, and we had a couple of people come by, and just a couple of nice old uncles come and just really enjoy the cameras that we have on display here. And I decided that it'd be fun to do a Chinatown Confessions of the black paint cameras that none of them do I own. They're all kind of borrowed, but M9P black paint, I'm going to be testing this right now after we have lunch. And so this is a beautiful camera, and according to JJ, he thinks this is worth maybe around 7, 6, whatever, but it's worth way more than it probably should be, other than the fact, if you watch my other video, you'll see with the corrosion issue, the fact that this is a 14-year-old camera, but as you know, a lot of Leica cameras hold their value really well, and so this has held its value well. Part of it is just kind of the mystique of the M9, but also it's a really cool Kodak sensor. And so I have this here. Another black paint camera I have here, but it's not a Leica, is the Rollei 35S that's on loan from TJ from the shop. And this is also a fun camera. You can see kind of, I'll put it in the back here, you can see the brassing on the shutter lever, the shutter cock there. You can see the brassing there, and that looks beautiful, as well as there is a little bit of like a bubbling slash can you see that? A little bit of bubbling on the finish, like kind of orange peeling, and that's very common of black paint cameras. And so don't go too far away there, JJ. He's taking pictures of me over there. But I have a really cool camera here. It is a Leica 1A. Now, we don't know exactly what year it is, but as we know, this year is the 100-year anniversary of Leica, meaning Lights camera. So the Ernst Lights Wetzlar company, established in 1869, made precision instruments like microscopes and binoculars and scopes and those kind of things. But in 1925, Ernst Lights II decided to shift the focus of the company to making cameras, which was a very risky endeavor at that time because it was sort of, post-World War I Germany. The economy was just recovering from that horrible war, and they decided to basically sell a product that most people didn't need. Photography in 1925 was not like the everyman's thing. It was quite an expensive tool, and so to make that decision to shift to making cameras was a huge deal. And this here is the Leica 1A. This is the Barnack design, the very first Leica. So we don't know what year it is, but it came out in 1925. So this is potentially a 100-year-old camera right here, and it still works. JJ said he's taking pictures of his daughter with it, with Tri-X, and it just looks beautiful. And so look at that brassing on that. Look how cool this camera has brass. And so Leica 1A, black paint, beautiful. Now the next two cameras that we have black paint, they're actually twin cameras, and I don't know why I have trouble with this acronym, but I know what it stands for. So it is the M6 black paint Leica Historical Society of America. So let's LHSA. I don't know why I struggle with that. LHSA. But Leica Historical Society of America, which now they've changed their name to International, LSI. They call themselves LSI. Another acronym I'm struggling with. But this is the M6 black paint. So because it's black paint, obviously the regular M6 used a zinc alloy top, and it was cast, so it wasn't a very pretty top. But with these limited editions, they actually did use a brass top plate, especially with black paint. It makes sense, so you can see the brassing along the edge. And according to JJ, he said that these are not fake brass. He does something that most of us do. I haven't, because I don't own one, which is basically you rub it until it starts to show the edges, because you kind of want it to naturally brass, but it's kind of unnatural, because, you know, if you're sleeping and you're rubbing it like it's a genie's bottle, then it's kind of fake but kind of real, because you did actually brass it without sandpaper, right? And it's just really nice. Even the bottom, of course, a real shooter will remove that sticker, so all the edges are brassings. And this is a 0.85, and so and not a standard 0.72. So it's actually kind of incorrect to have this 28 millimeter Brighton star, but I think the reason why you have it on here, JJ, is because it's black paint and it'll brass. Yeah, so it kind of matches the color of it, but the frame lines won't match up. But JJ also has, look at that, he has another M6 LHSA with the matching Leicavit in black paint. This is actually in better condition per se, but if you notice there, there's less patina on the script there, on the white print. If you notice here, it's hard to tell. This is a little bit more, kind of has that fauxtina. It's not fauxtina, it's patina. It's naturally kind of, I guess it was in the sun longer or something like that. And also, according to JJ, I can't tell difference, but you know, he's the one with these 25 black paint. I know. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got at least 4 black paint cameras. You probably have more at home. He has more at home, maybe. He was saying that he likes this one, right? He swears he could tell the difference even between the two M6 LHSAs, but I cannot. Maybe these old eyes can't tell the difference. But either way, they're all beautiful. I do like the Leicavit more for looks than it is for function. Although if I was actually shooting and I had a job and I was shooting multiple images, it saves your thumb. It's a lot easier to shoot like this. It's much quicker if you're shooting consecutively that quickly, and it saves your fingers basically, right? But these two are beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of the M6 because functionally and objectively the M7 is better as a shooter's camera. It has aperture priority, it has third stops, it has auto DX encoding, it has all these things to shoot faster. I mean, it replaced the M6, but I must admit these limited editions with the brass top, which is one of the biggest issues I had with the M6, is that it didn't have the brass top, but also I like the larger shutter speed dial, and it's in the direction of the arrows. And the older Leicas and the Leica M6 Classic, the arrows don't match. The arrows point this way, and then you have to turn the shutter speed the other way. So these older TTL M6s, definitely great, and then you can use the SF24D flash and you get proper TTL. So these are fantastic, and again, black paint is gorgeous. Now we have our last black paint camera here, and this is the one that I would really want, but it's becoming more and more difficult to get, and this is the M10R black paint, and it's really kind of come under the microscope because of the new M11 black paint. Now the M10 black paint, this is worth maybe 10 to 11,000 US. I mean, you know, there aren't enough of these to have been sold for people to get a really good idea of what the value of this M10R black paint is. But the regular M10R, either in silver chrome or black chrome, is worth maybe $5,500 to $6,500. So basically, this black paint version is worth almost $4,000 to $5,000 more because it's black paint. And the controversy is that basically the M11 regular black chrome and the You're in my shot. No, it's okay, as long as you don't mind being on camera. You want to be in YouTube? You want to sit next to me here? No, I see. The M10R, the black paint here, is worth quite a bit of money, and so I think there are people speculating, and I even said it, M11 black paint is only $200 more retail. And so if you're gonna buy new, I do not recommend anyone to buy the M11 Black Chrome right now because there's only a $200 difference. My guess is that in 5 years there'll be a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 price difference between the M11 Black Chrome and the M11 Black Paint. Even if you don't like black paint, I recommend buying the black paint version and then sell it in a couple years and then get the regular M11 Black Chrome for probably $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 cheaper. And I think this M10R black paint is a perfect, and because it's so close, it's the last generation, it really shows how popular black paint is over the black chrome because people kind of want to see that brassing, right? So let's go back to this 100-year-old Leica here, the Leica 1A. You can see how it's brass and just looks cool, kind of like an old pair of jeans or an old leather jacket. People really like to see that patina, see the brassing on these cameras. I have right here my silver chrome M10R, and this is worth maybe about $5,500 to $6,500. So I like it because I'm a shooter. I don't need this to be black paint. I'm not willing to spend $5,000 just to have it black paint because to me this is a workhorse. I mean, it's a pretty camera, but it's also kind of a workhorse camera as well. So I love this in this silver chrome finish. And then finally, less sexy cameras. I have the SL2 and I have my Deluxe here. So amongst all these black paint cameras, obviously these cameras look plain Jane, at least for Leica. And so thank you for amusing me. Oh, I have one more camera here I'm going to show. It's not black paint, but it is just as cool. Can you guess what this is? Now it is brassing. It is a Safari edition, yeah, and it is the M240 Safari. Now that is a third-party brass thumb rest on there, but look how awesome this is. And this is with the 90 Summicron on here, and it's a honkin' lens, but although not black paint, it is just as rare, sometimes even more rare, depending on what model, but I think in general it's rarer, and it looks fantastic. Again, you still get the brassing on these Safari/Reporter Leicas. All right, I'll hand this back to JJ. Thank you so much for amusing me. This is, again, my first Chinatown Confessions for 2025, and I just had to share these beautiful cameras with you. I am going to be testing, as you saw in my other video, the M9P. I'm going to be playing with this one here, so I'm going to show you pictures of that, and eventually I will make my way through all of these cameras. Let me know which one of these you want me to review first. So thank you so much for watching. Just funny, you saw me talking to Steven. I took a couple of pictures of him sitting across there, and he's a nice fellow. People see the Leicas out and all these older uncles coming here and talking to us, so it's a lot of fun sharing the love of the Leica and classic vintage film cameras. And so that's kind of part of the reason why when I do eat at a place like Maxim's, I leave my camera out on the table, and I love it when people come and want to talk about their cameras and share their stories about photography and their love of cameras. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, JJ, for joining me here for lunch. We'll talk to you soon, and happy shooting. Click, click, click. Peace.